Hi friends, this video we are going to discuss about some of the remaining questions of interview. How to automate Excel if there are too many items in Excel, example more than 1 lakhs. Usually if you want to automate the Excel, the easy and simple method is OLEDB connector methods. I had created one video that Excel automation through OLEDB connector 12.0. So how OLEDB work? Without opening any Microsoft Excel sheet, OLEDB automatically update maybe 1 lakh or 10 lakh records. It will update within a seconds. Even though we updated more than 2 to 3 lakhs records, within 2 to 5 seconds through OLEDB connector. You have to use OLEDB 12.0 connection string and connect it. Once the connection has been completed, you have to use insert query as Excel. For example, your connection has been made like connection string OLEDB 12.0 provider data server 1 user ID 1 password equal to 1 and as well as header. So whether you have to mention your header is needed or not. If header is needed, then if you mention header equal to yes, it automatically take first in Excel first row as a header. It will update your values from second row and Imax equal to 1. So what is the use of Imax? Imax is the function which we are using here to update mixed values. Suppose you are updating some values from another Excel to one more Excel, or else fetching values from database and updating into Excel. So in that case your values may be mixed values 12.0 $34. So in this type of mixed values or 000. So this type of mixed values, integer and string and decimal, this type of mixed values comes, you have to use Imax. And if your Excel has only reading purpose, then there is no update, you are not going to update anything, then make it read only true. If you are updating something, make it read only false. So this is the connection string you are using on it. So once the connection string has updated, you have to use insert into your sheet name. For example, Excel, your sheet name is sheet 1. So sheet 1. So values, whatever you are passing, 1, 2, how many columns you are passing, that column values, you have to use. If you want to give the column names as well, you can give us column name, column 1, column 2, column 3. Suppose you want to update Excel from row 7 or else row 10. So in that case, you have to write the query as insert into sheet 1, so row. So dynamically you have to add row counter. The row counter start with counter start with 10. So row counter increment. So this is the way you can insert your values. Maybe you can use any tool. If you are using AA, you have to write after the connection string. If you are using BP, you have to use code stage in the same connection string and as well as insert queries. So this is the way we can Excel automation. The first preference is OLEDB connector. The second thing is, if you want to do the Excel automation, the macros, it is another important thing. But most of the clients, they are not accepting macros. Macros have some security issues. When we deploy into client, it, it, it blocked some of the contents of the client values. So it's not allowing us up now. The third thing, if you want to automate Excel, you can use VBA or else VB scripts, that also you can use. So VB script is used for only the, suppose you are going to get the last row end of the column value. In that case, you can write the VB script and you can get on it. So these are the things we can automate. We have to remind on it when we automate Excel applications. If your position of a window is changed, how will you make sure your bot still works in surface automation? See, actually, you have to make sure, for example, suppose first time your application is running in surface automation, your position has div 8. The second time it's running, your position has changing as div 9. So how it should work? You have to make us attribute as dynamic. For example, here you can see, here I am changing my ordinal attribute as dynamic. So in that way, wherever the window has coming, I have no issues. This button is available or not. The check is whether this button is available or not. If button is available, in suppose thing this is a screen, my button is first time available in button here, the second time available the button right side as well. It should work because I'm changing my match type as dynamic. So this is the way we can identify and we can see still our bot will work when we change as dynamic. explain how to identify username and password field dynamically in service automation. See, even though this is the same example, even though your username and password field as dynamic, you can make the same change. Suppose your username first time coming as div 9, second time coming as div 11. There is no worries. You have to do the same thing. Dynamic match type attribute you should use very carefully. So whatever the element you have, suppose the element may be button, the element may be text box, the element may be drop down. You have to locate the particular path of the attribute. You have to match the checkbox and set the match type to dynamic as like as, and you have to apply on it. So depending on your interaction with the application, if you are reading and writing or interacting with more than one field, you will need to use, once you got done, you have need to use calculation stage to generate a path and use the result from calculation stage within the parameters of the read and write and navigate stage. This is the way you can manage your dynamic attributes. The first and main thing you have to change is your match type attributes should be dynamic. How to create a bot to find out a number of friends in a B. That we can talk about the separate video. In HTML, if HTML path attribute is dynamic for an element spied in HTML mode, how will you interact with that? So dynamic is remain same. The question is repeated. The match type attributes still you can check even if it is HTML or whatever the web application. All the web, the match type should be dynamic if you want to catch up any dynamic elements on it. Thanks guys, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see next video new things.